Yo everybody, how's it going? Raf here, welcome back on my channel. I hope you guys have missed me because I certainly miss you guys and I've missed doing YouTube. I know it's been quite some time since I last uploaded. I do apologize for that. I've been absent for quite a few months now, almost 10 months if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to delve into the reason why or bore you guys with the details of what happened, but just know that we are back and better. Just that doing YouTube at the time just wasn't the right move for me. But like I said, we are back. I'm already planning a consistent return. I have these planned for this week, and I have another pair of Nikes that just came in the mail today. I'm going to do a review on those as well. I'm not going to tell you guys what they are. Just know that they are an OG model from 2003, or rather should I say a retro of an OG model from 2003 in an OG 2003 colorway. So just wait and see. I'm sure you guys will like them. They're this quirky kind of like running shoe. And yeah, I'm not gonna tell you guys any more clues. You guys can figure it out by yourselves. But yeah, without further ado, I think we should get right into it. Today I have the Nike Air Max TN or Air Max Plus. But just a disclaimer, over here where I'm from in Montreal, we never call these the Air Max Plus. I've never heard a single person call them that. We only call them by TNs or Air Max TNs. Whatever it is, it's one of the two. So I'm going to refer to them by that. You can do whatever you want. I don't really care, but I'm going to refer to them by TNs. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick overlook of the shoe. I'm going to tell you guys about the materials, the history, maybe what I like, what I don't like, and we'll pretty much wrap it from there. So without further ado, I think we should get right into it. So these shoes come in the OG style box, as you can see on the right, which is really cool. It's my first time owning a Nike product ever since they started retroing that type of box. That's like the mid to late 90s, kind of like Nike sportswear box, Nike basketball, Nike running. I know I think the first box that they retroed these with was the 11s, or the sneakers, should I say. Sorry, I think the 11s in 2019's, the Breads, they had that box, so that might have been their first release to come with it. But you know what, the box isn't the focus of the video, it's the sneakers. And I'm going to give you guys a quick 360 of the shoe so you guys can see all the details and the colors. I tried to do this video when there's a bit of sun out so you guys can get the full picture of, you know, the gradient effect, because it's been a subject of controversy, because apparently people like the 2018 gradient better. Some people like this one better. Some people saying the 2018 is closer to OG. Some people are saying this is closer to OG. So it's really, who knows, really. It's just a matter of preference. Me personally, I'm just happy to have the damn shoe. It's my first time owning a pair of Hyper Blues. It's only my second pair of TNs in general. The other colorway I owned was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. It was a white and gray colorway. They were really clean, but I didn't get them for a very long time. I wore them out maybe for like a month or two and trade them back in for something else. I can't even remember what, but I liked them. They were comfortable. That's one thing that I remember. So as you can see, we still have the gradient. People were complaining, saying that it was too white on this pair. And these have released a bunch of times and it was never the same kind of effect. So I don't know why people are complaining. It's to be expected at this point, especially with Nike. This one has a lot more white towards the front than the 18s. I never had the 18s in hand, but from what I've seen, it was definitely a bit more vibrant on the 2018s. So it's just a matter of personal preference, really. Me, like I said, I'm just happy to have the shoe. These came out last time in 2018, the Hyper Blues, so it's been a 6-year hiatus. And before that, they came out in 2013 as well with the yellow lace tips, if I'm not mistaken. So just a few times these have retroed, and last time they retroed, they were with the two OG colorways, the sunsets and the purples. I can't quite remember the name, but they had the special boxes. It was overall a really cool release. These go for a pretty penny nowadays. But let's get into the materials, the inspiration. So we have this mesh over here where the gradient is, and that is supposed to represent a Florida sunset. Maybe not the color, but the overall gradient effect. And these little TPU kind of things you see right here, the black ribbing is made to represent palm trees. So the young designer is named Sean McDowell. He was employed by Nike back in 1997 to create the Air Max TN, which was supposed to be a joint venture between Nike and Foot Locker. So just keep in mind that ever since the beginning of the project, the TN was made to be a Foot Locker exclusive, and Nike had already proposed maybe about like 15 designs to Foot Locker, which they had rejected all of them. They weren't happy with what they were seeing. So Nike brought in Sean McDowell, and he certainly delivered, let me tell you, because these have been a cult classic ever since their introduction, I would have to say. Like, even in Montreal, there's a dedicated community of people, you know, that wear them, especially around the world. There's some places around the world that are renowned for, you know, people rocking them, you know, like the UK, Australia, Europe in general. A lot of people love the TNs, you know. It can range from your 15-year-old, you know, suburban kid to like your 55-year-old Middle Eastern dad. You know, everybody wears TNs. You know, it's either for style or for comfort, because they are both of them. They are both stylish and comfortable, should I say. And, you know, there's a stigma around them that, you know, certain people wear them, you know, that don't do very good things in life. I know some schools have banned the TNs from their territory, should I say. Which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, even in Montreal, you know, everybody wears these. You know, when I was a kid, I remember the Hustlers wearing these. The Hustlers at my school, you know, the ones that were involved in some activities I won't get into, but they had the all black or all white TNs. You know, it was one or the other. That's what they had. That's what I remember. But nowadays, everybody wears them. So yeah. You have the palm trees that were inspired by Sean McDowell when he was looking at the palm trees in Florida. And then you have the whale's tail right here to separate the air units. The whale tail right here that acts as a shank, which let me tell you, you really feel that it's there. Like, the shoe overall is very stiff. It's not uncomfortable, but it's very stiff at first. Because you have the TPU right here, which makes it kind of rigid, and then you have the big shank right here, which you can see goes all the way here, and then you have the TN Air logo, sort of like this scientific element timetable kind of thing. You'll have to excuse the outsole. I tried them on for like 5 minutes inside my crib, and that's what they look like now. But yeah, so these have been cult classics, sorry, ever since their introduction in 1998. They have constantly released through time in all sorts of colorways, vibrant ones, you know, all blacks, all whites, doesn't really matter. There's a TN for everybody, and that's what I love about that shoe. Not only is it comfortable, but there's a TN for everybody. Any flavor you like, there's a TN for you, no matter what color. And also, I gotta say, these run true to size. I got these in my true size 10.5. If you have really wide feet, I would perhaps suggest trying them on, because you might have to go a half a size up, just because at the front, first off, you have this little plastic cap right here, and it's just very narrow overall. So if your feet are really wide, I would suggest trying them on at the very least, so you can know what to expect. And now let's get into pretty much like the marquee of the shoe, kind of like the basically the prime attraction. What makes these so great is also the tuned air in these. So the tuned air, which was a brand new technology at the time, it was like like I said, like the marquee of Nike for a long time. I think for like 10 years, until they released the Air Max 360. That was like the premium cushioning technology. So tuned air, what it is, so they basically have like hemispheres of chambers inside here, and I know that it's made out of like some type of polymer. I know there's some polymer inside there. That's what I read yesterday. And also these like the OG pairs have like this sort of like resin, vinyl resin on there. Like, that's what it's made out of. It's something else. I can't remember the name exactly, but it's some sort of vinyl resin. I think these are just like TPU now. I don't know, or just plastic, because they look kind of flimsy. But the OGs, they have hemispheres that separate them, and they basically have like different PSI levels for people that because runners, when they strike down, some of them strike down like this, some of them strike down like that. You know, some of them rotate the heel. Everybody has a very different running style from each other. Everybody lands differently. Nobody runs the same. Nobody walks the same even. So these are for people that overpronate, or the pronators, whatever you want to call it. I know there's a term for that. But basically you have different PSIs at different levels on different chambers, which there's a little hole in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the air basically transfers from one chamber to another to create a very springy kind of feel, which I gotta say, these are very springy. I was wearing my military blue 4s when I picked these up. I had been wearing them all day, and when I finally came home, I tried them on. I didn't try them on at the store, so I tried them on at home. And as soon as I put them on, I realized there was a big difference in them. You know, they're nothing crazy, you know, they're not Huaraches or they're not Ultra Boost and nothing like that, but there was definitely a big difference that I could instantly tell from wearing my military blues. I was like, damn, this is like a whole different ball game, you know? And of course you have 4-foot air units, but the main attraction is really in the back. You also have these are like indicators that you have like tuned air. These have become like significant with the line, you know, this little logo right here, if you want to call it that. And as you can see right here, you have like sort of like the upper pattern of like the palm trees right here. And on the inside as well, you have the thing that I just showed you on the outsole, which is really cool because I think the 2018s did not have that. They just had the TN logo, and people were complaining about that, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. And yeah, you also have, as far as the materials are concerned, you also have like the thinnest piece of leather, if you even want to call it that. It's more like pleather. Right here, it's got this like little effect, super thin, as you can see. Nothing crazy at all, but it's there. I thought I'd note that. And also the TN logo, of course, is on the back right here, featured pretty prominently. That was also one big thing that Nike told Sean McDowell, is that they really wanted the logo to be featured. He originally didn't want it, but it was synonymous with the pair after, so maybe it wasn't such a bad thing, you know, they decided on that. And also one thing I must mention is that supposedly the yellow right here is a lot less vibrant than the other years, but personally I think it all looks very good. There's still a pair of TNs that are there, they're still sexy, and they still look very good no matter what. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up, guys. I'm pretty much done. I hope you guys have enjoyed my review slash like thoughts on the Air Max TN in the Hyper Blue colorway, and I'm really happy that I'm back to making video, guys. I also have another one this week planned, so it should be coming very soon. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one.